Hello, everyone. I hope that you're doing well. Welcome to the Concerned Citizen. And yes, I am concerned. I do these videos just to talk about what I'm concerned with just in the world. And right now, it's been heavily focused on politics. I I consider myself a political person? I consider myself like a person who is very about character and morality. I worry about the world. I have always done that when I was a kid about what is right and what is wrong. Um, so I would say that is my main focus. But what I have seen happen ever since Trump came into the picture was this challenge to the American people and people of the world about who we are as people. What really matters to us? Does money matter over people's lives? And I think that's the number one question that has been here um, to the American people. And I think that a lot of people have said their answer, about 50%, saying that money overtakes uh, the life of an individual, whether it's their health or their, freedom to choose and just freedom in general in this country. That money is what really drives everything. And that is sad because money is something that is made up in the sense that we use it to live in this country and we use it as commodity. But um, when you die, it means nothing, right? It's your life and how you lived, and that means a lot. Even when you look back in history, you look at major events that have occurred, World War One, World War Two, slavery within this country. And I think that for the most part, you can look back and say there was a right side to be on and a clear wrong side to be on. I think that we're in one of those moments in history right now because we are in a position where people are saying, I think we have to choose between the lesser of two evils, which that comment really pisses me off. And it's pissed me off the more that Trump has been in the political landscape because there's been an acceptance of what he has done and said, and we have sacrificed our morality for money. But I think that when history looks back in this moment, they're going to clearly see that there was a right choice and there was a wrong choice. And I truly believe that Trump is that wrong choice. So it's going to be interesting. Nobody has the answers of what this election is going to represent for America. Whether we are going to continue to fight for the American dream, or are we going to have to face the reality of what we have become and then have to redeem ourselves through multiple generations to get back on track? So it's been difficult. I have been having anxiety. I have been worried. But through this and worrying, I have prepared myself and slowly preparing myself. Who knows when reality hits, if Trump wins, I may be in a depression or something. But I have had nightmares that a Trump supporter shot me because of who I believed in and who I wanted to vote for. That is the reality of the situation that I feel I'm living in right now. The Republicans have been really good at having their narrative and their view put on the American people. And I think unless you're someone who is well informed, who's looking out for these things, and is really morally sound, and I'm not saying that to tell you the truth that these other people are bad people who are voting for Trump. I think that you become so focused on your own world, and through technology, it has made us really only see ourselves and not others. It has made us self centered. We don't try to get to know other people. And I think that if Trump were elected, I would want to try to get to understand people. I think that I would need to do that for my own sanity, to know that there's still good in this world. So, like I said, I get really pissed off when people say, the lesser of two evils, or make comparisons that, these candidates are both practically the same. I don't think so. So there's two parts in this video that I want to go through. One is discussing the both siding of everything and why I completely disagree. And then discussing people who I've watched their videos who say that they're voting for Trump because there's two areas that they believe that he stands for. So as far as the both siding of situations with Trump and Kamala, the news has done this. I've even seen YouTube videos do this. And it's really like excusing Trump's behavior. Early on, when Trump was running for election in 2016 with Hillary, he had made fun of a disabled person. Automatically, right there, I was done with Trump. That told me everything I needed to know about him. Everything. Everything. I was like, if you're going to make fun and attack a person who is the most vulnerable, then that says a lot about you. And you are nowhere near where I feel we should be as a country. You are not a leader. You're a bully. You are a dictator. So automatically right there, I paid attention and I saw that for what it was. So then Trump becomes president. And he says terrible things, right? I mean, let's talk about, like, he keeps on, even when Obama was elected, he was putting his 2 cents in, saying, he wasn't a citizen and all these other things, right? Asking for his birth certificate. And then you have Trump in office, and he asks one of his officials if he can shoot at protesters. And people don't even care, right? People put this on the media and they go, same thing that we're doing today. I was like, not surprised. He, in the news, had foreign dignitaries over the White House, asked his aides to step out, and then shared secrets with them as they laughed about it. And this was published in articles. And nothing. He's had personal conversations with Putin. He's taken documents and refused to give them back, and that they had to go forcefully pick them up. And we found out that foreign individuals potentially had access to that information. We found out that he gave COVID tests during the most vulnerable time in America where the COVID tests were not available to Putin. We also know that he tried to overturn an election, whether it be trying to get additional votes that weren't there in Georgia, or having fake electors try to change the election, or getting his vice president to overturn the election as well. And then, of course, January 6th, right? His general recently came out and said that Trump idolized the Nazi generals. This is in addition to people who've said that he admires, and we've seen it because he brags about it, dictators such as Putin and Kim Jong-un and the leader of China. So all of this, and this has not changed people, and they continue to say the lesser of two evils. That pisses me off a lot, because this is like comparing a serial killer to somebody who, let's say, has a parking infraction and saying, you know what, they both broke the law. Excuse me? They're not the same at all. So I get really tired when I hear people trying to both sides the argument, because one, it tells me how uninformed some of these people are, and also tells me where their kind of vote is leaning towards. It's about what he can do just for their pocket. And by the way, we don't get much from, let's say, when people say the stock market, Under Biden, my stock is up. Under Trump, my stock is up. But guess what? It's nowhere near what the upper 10% is getting. Upper 10% of the wealthy control 90% of the stock market and benefit from it. So we're fighting over scraps. So, that whole thing of like, hey, I feel like Trump cares about me, that he's good for the economy. I was like, let me ask you this. Do you feel that your CEO or the leader of your company cares about you as an individual? Do you feel that your pay and their pay is equitable? That meaning that you feel that, that you're both getting what you should out of this. It's interesting that I think a majority of people go, no, I feel like my company and my CEO does not care about me. My insurance is not great. I could be paid more. There's no loyalty in the business. And that's changed because of workers and everything else. But also, let's look about the leaders. Companies have not done a lot to invest in their workers. So Trump is a business person. He represents those companies. He is part of this area that we have really insight to because we work for them. I worked in a factory and I felt really terrible about myself. Everyone had pride in their job and wanted to do a good job, and they were hardworking people. And this comes a lot to Kamala working in McDonald's. I was not making a living off of this income, but a lot of the people in the factory were. And they were treated like a light bulb. They were treated like crap. The leadership talked to them like crap. We were just seen as a means to an end. We were something to help the owners of the company rake in millions of dollars, get profit, but they gave us 5-minute breaks. Really, literally, they gave us 5-minute breaks. And you're going to say, well, that's illegal. No, it actually isn't. In New York State, where I live, you're only entitled to a 30-minute meal period. Now, lots of companies, their kind of internal rules are 2:15. And some days, to tell you the truth, in that factory, they would take away our breaks because we were not meeting quota. So, having experienced that, I'm like, Trump doesn't care about us. Why would a CEO care about us? And there's clues to that he doesn't care about us. He has used his hotels to host politicians and other foreign dignitaries, and apparently this is not legal, but he gets away with it because his businesses are profiting, while he's president. He's strategically doing things to benefit his business. And then you also, like people say, lesser of two evils. Okay, you're also trusting a man who's been bankrupt tons of times, whether it be his casinos, whether it be his university, whether it be Trump Meat. You have so many things that Trump has done and have all gone bankrupt. Trump is also notorious for not paying his bills. As he has campaigned, he has not paid lots of the locations and venues that he has visited. In fact, lots of those communities or businesses have had to front the bill. So, yeah, seems like really trusting guy. It's very interesting as far as like that's my position on the both sides. I think it's crap, Like I don't even want to have the argument where the people say, "Hey Matt, let's talk about, they're both pretty bad." I hear this in my personal life all the time. When we start talking, they're like, they're both like. I was like, no, I refuse to have this conversation anymore, and just go, oh yeah, no. I'm gonna tell you my real thoughts. I don't agree. Trump is a piece of blanky blank. He is. He's no. I'm sorry. He only cares about himself. No. So, I watched this video, and I've been watching lots of YouTube videos, making myself sick, giving myself anxiety, and it's lots of videos are saying like Democrats losing ground on early voting. Now, just to address that, I think that a lot of this has to do with the voting trends changing. I think more Republicans are voting early. So what does this do on election day? Do Republicans have more votes? Or is a lot of their momentum being fizzled up with early voting, and then Democrats on election day are going to be up? We don't know, right? But here's the thing that I want to talk about with people in videos that I watch when they say, I'm voting for Trump. And it was two men. I was watching the video, and they were in a swing state. And they said, I'm voting for Trump. I'm tired of the Democrats making it about race. I am tired of people trying to take away our freedom. I believe in freedom, and I believe in Christian values. And I was like, okay. I roll my eyes at that because it's interesting. Republicans are really good at messaging, and I can read it. I'm feeling I'm reading through the bullshit. Listen, I believe there are problems in the Democratic Party, but right now, I feel like you have more influence on the Democratic side than you do on the Republican side. Like, that's my opinion. That's why I'm a registered Democrat, because I want to be involved in those primaries to call out what I feel is the bullcrap on the Democratic side. But we're not there right now. So when people say freedom and all this other crap, and Democrats want to incite racism and stuff, and saying that people are racist, at the same time, you're supporting a party that screams woke, anti-woke, and all this crap. And I'm like, what? Because here's what I get upset. So there's a gay person on TV. You go, this is woke. Okay, so when you say that Democrats are just trying to incite division and you're pissed off because you see a gay person on TV, who's inciting division and being pissed off? You are. When you see that there's a colored person or a minority, let's say a black person, a Hispanic person, I'm Hispanic, right, that gets a job, you go, oh, that's DEI. I want all this woke crap to be out of businesses. That's not racist, I'm trying to be careful because I don't want to get myself in trouble. But in workplaces, what I have seen is people say, just hire the best candidate. I think that you missed the point of DE&I, right? DE&I is for everybody if it's done right. And I think this is where there's lots of people who have had the right intentions with this and have used, yes, companies doing this as a talking point because it's good for their bottom line. Companies are only going to do things that are good for their bottom line, okay? It's all about money. Disney standing up for what they, people are saying what they believed in, which were progressive values, right? It's all for their bottom line. Things are swaying. They'll go wherever the money is. So with DE&I, it's like, people being so pissed off about it. It really is talking about, I'll give the example of a disabled person. Hey, just because somebody's disabled doesn't mean they're not qualified for the job. You need to look at their merits and their qualifications. Good example here is I'll use an older person. Older person going for a job, you automatically go, this is an IT job. What do they know about technology? They're older. I'm going to hire this younger person because I believe they're more qualified. Yeah, you shouldn't do that because you should be looking at their credentials and taking out that bias that of ageism and really looking at, do they have the qualifications? That's what DE&I is about, and I think a lot of people do not like labels being talked down to, and I think that's what this is about. But it's also about education, and people feel like they know it all. So when people talk about, in this Trump video, I believe in freedom. You believe in freedom with Christian values because you mentioned that in your statement. So your definition of freedom is very different from mine, right? You want to say, I believe in Christian values and freedom, so I believe that my religion should dictate what others should do. So a woman's right to choose? No. I believe that abortion should not be illegal. I also believe that IVF is not something that is right as well. That's me having the freedom of my religion dictating to other people. That's what they believe. And when they say family values, they go, I don't believe in two moms, two dads, and all these other bullcrap, and one mom, one dad. We need to have the family unit come back. That's what they're saying in regards to this. So I get really upset when people say, like, the freedom thing and associate with Christian values, because they're trying to insert their religion. So they're trying to tell women what to do with their bodies. They're trying to go after LGBTQ people. They're even trying to tell you what books you can read, right? Uh, if you look at some of these states where these Republicans, MAGA, right, who are for freedom, they're saying that you should have the Ten Commandments in your school, that you should read the Bible and teach the Bible, that drag queens in other states should be banned. And so all of this is anti freedom. And for lots of people, they don't care. Why? Because they're not in the line of fire for some of these policies. So they're sitting back and going, I kind of agree. It's targeting everything that that has nothing to do with me. So it makes no difference to me. The problem with that thought process is that one day, all of these people are not going to be there anymore because they've been targeted, they've lost all their rights, and they're going to come for you. And you're going to look around and go, where's everybody to defend me? There's not going to be anybody, because you were part of the problem that supported and didn't stand up for other people. So I hope that you don't get what is coming to you in this election, meaning that if Trump's elected and he has his tariffs and everyone thinks that, hey, this would be great for us, and then you get screwed over and you're looking around shocked and going, wow, this guy was, everything he said was bullcrap. He's a bad leader. We need to stand up for him. Well, he's established presidential immunity through the Supreme Court, and he has so many things to protect him now that we were trying to warn you the whole time, and now we're stuck in this situation. So I get really dumbfounded by the fact that people are really trying to have these talking points and coming to these conversations with, let's say, both sides and everything. Sure, the person may be a good person in the sense of, that they're your neighbor, they've been there to help you, they do lots of things for you, but it doesn't, and it shouldn't stop you from being able to say how you feel, because that's another thing. It's interesting that DeSantis tried to come over for free speech when individuals were kind of fighting the anti-abortion policies, and he was trying to say that that was something that could not be done, and the basically judge had told DeSantis and the Florida government basically, there's a thing called free speech, and basically there's a thing called free speech, stupid. So it's very interesting that the Republicans have done all these things, and nobody really cares, in the sense of, like, they're coming to these arguments saying, it's the lesser of two evils. Yeah, no, it's not. I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, you know what? Kamala should have done this. She should have said this. Actually, at this point, I'm going to tell you one thing I disagreed with, but doesn't make any difference to me. I don't agree with Kamala having a Republican in her cabinet. I don't. But to tell you the truth, is that a make or break for me? No, it's not. They say that Kamala's trying to be center. I get concerned with people who are in center, like saying, I'm the middle person. Okay, I agree with everything. Okay, then nothing's going to get done. We saw that Obama came in and he said, I'm going to be working with everybody. We're getting this together. And Obama didn't get as much as he wanted to get accomplished and should have got accomplished in his presidency. The Affordable Care Act was a huge one, but I think that when you try to cooperate with another side who's trying to sabotage you, it's not going to work out. So let me know what you think. What do you think about the both sidesing the issue between Trump and Kamala Harris, and the comments where people say the lesser of two evils? What do you think about people who say that they're voting for Trump because they believe in freedom and Christian values. Is that a fair argument? Let me know. Thank you.